Good morning. Boy, you just never know, huh? That was so delightful. I found myself standing up so that I could see and maybe hear a little better what was going on, and my eyes were open. And I don't know whether her grandmother has passed or not, but it was either her grandmother that was standing behind her or her guide, but certainly just beaming over what was happening. We are so blessed, and it was so unexpected. We had no idea. So, in reality, this ties right in with who we are and who we are becoming. In this lecture today, so far as pay attention, the universe is communicating. I at first thought, the universe? Wow, that's a bit of a stretch. Because if it's communicating, then what does it look like? What does it sound like? Well, we just witnessed it. We often don't think in those terms, but you see, this is the input of today. Enlightenment. The metaphysical church of. And what is enlightenment to you? What is it to me? And what is it to our connection to the universe? Perhaps it's something that we are all learning, that the universe really is in our favor. I mean, after all, we eventually get the connection that it made us, we're it's us, but how often do we live that on a day-to-day, moment-by-moment basis? You see, I think that's really what is happening with all of us, in which we are being encouraged to have it happen, so that we can in ourselves recognize there is something about all of this that we need to open ourselves to, so that we can actually experience it more fully. And in this way, what happens is we find ourselves waking up. We find ourselves recognizing. We find ourselves comprehending more fully how it is that this greatness is also all the smallnesses. It's every piece of everything. But the distraction that goes on in this plane of existence, while it's also a part of it, isn't necessarily the main attraction and what's really calling to get our attention so that we can have a more meaningful experience. Okay, so we've moved with that for a moment. Now let's tie into some of the things that I think are so important to all of us. We agree that the universe is talking to us.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes. Yes.
All yays?
Yes.
No nays? Okay. The nay can still be heard because it's still part of the universe. So we can see that it's trying to get our attention, to guide us, to connect us, and wake us up. Fascinating time that we're in right now, because we're recognizing that to stay with who we were is not a wise choice to make, but that we need to find out more about who we are and what it is that's actually drawing us and attracting us to discover more of what is. I have no idea how long humanity has been on the planet and how many different versions of us there have been and how this has been lost and how it's being found, and the discovery of other intelligences in the universe and the realization that some of them are smarter than us, and how we're going to deal with it. And we look at this and we see, what are we supposed to be learning now? What is it the universe actually has to teach us now? And I think one of the things is just what we witnessed. To feeling a heartfelt connection that stirs us into all of us feeling the connection, but also at the same time, not to just dumb down and stay in that place. Because you see, life will speak to us, the universe will speak to us, Supreme Being will speak to us, and it will try its best to get our attention either through people we meet, synchronicities that happen, how we are favored to look for certain things and find certain things to be important to us personally. Now, to you it may be the number 7. To someone else, 7 doesn't mean zip. But you start talking 3, and that's a different story. So you see, and then to somebody else, well, I only can find value with numbers and 6. To someone else, they say, you know what? Music gets my attention. So I want you to feel you're important. You are valuable. I want you in yourself to be able to embrace that and open yourself to where you can feel the embrace of the Creator embracing you, so that you start recognizing your own significance, so that you can actually let that stimulate you to where you are then more receptive to the deep feelings and the knowing that will happen to you, to where then you feel, absolutely, I am being contacted. Something is wanting to and is connecting with me because I want it to and I want to experience it, to where then I feel like I'm making progress. I'm not just treading water. I'm not just experiencing the aches and the pains and all the other stuff that goes with having a body, or feeling that my life is so near collapse that it couldn't possibly amount to anything. But that I see that I am more than any and all of this, but that I chose to be in and through this to grow in my recognition of who I am and in recognition to what this is all about. And you see, you look at us right now as a community. We have a wondrous aspect of the universe working with us and encouraging us, and we call it spirit. We call it contact with an unseen set of beings. And that is so meaningful if you recognize that it is so valuable. Okay. So many different things that you can look to and find source connecting with you. You can look in the symbols of nature, like, oh my God, look at that. How beautiful that is. A feather falling on your lap. Oh my God, Forrest Gump. I just wanted to make sure that you're still with me. Okay. So, now. I would like for you to be able to feel the presence of what is here today and know that it wants to connect with you and wants you to know its intent. And its intent is for your well-being and for your awakening. There's a lot of responsibility that we have to take care of ourselves and to be willing to let go of who we think we are and to get out of that hole that we so conveniently fit in because we've lived in it for so long. And to actually choose to ascend, and in our ascension find that, oh God, there's something worthwhile to find. And part of it is finding me. Okay, I know all of you know this, and this is basically what I want to end with today. Only recently, Spirit mentioned to us the Creative Chant of Harmony. And it's something that took place years ago in class. And I would do it often, and often hear my father-in-law, he would walk up the road and be, and we could hear him, and at the time we thought, oh, how sweet, how wonderful. But that was a sign of devotion on his part and connection to harmony, to Source itself. And I have found when I do it, I feel very similarly. So, can you give us a note over there? Or is that beyond you, William? Let's see. Okay, just a starter. That's kind of high for me. there is a divine order and timing to everything. Trust in that. Thank you.